Hello and welcome to my 2021 F1 season predictions video. In this I will predict the Team Championship, the Drivers' Championship, and also give my own random opinions, let's say. Let's get into this. The Teams Championship. First, Mercedes. I still reckon Mercedes will win the championship this season. They have had some struggles in testing, but their car will still be strong enough, and despite the words coming out saying they may be struggling, I still think they are overall the favourites for this championship. So I expect they will win. In second, it will be Red Bull. Their car is stronger this year, and they also have a stronger driver lineup compared to last season. So it should be another solid performance for Red Bull this year, though I reckon they should push Mercedes a bit closer than they have in the previous 3 or 4 years. And I reckon they will be close enough to keep the Constructors' Championship towards the end of the season, maybe as late as Australia. Ferrari will be close this year compared to, say, how they did this time last year, as that last year's Ferrari was a disaster. However, this year they have a stronger drivers lineup, given that they have both drivers who will be wanting to do well this year, and their car should be a lot stronger given how testing has seen them do so far. So I'm predicting Ferrari to improve up to third. McLaren, they will be around about where they were last year, and they should be pushing for podiums, but I think they will just miss out on third overall, but they will be thereabouts and will hopefully give a good performance with that, again, a quite solid drivers lineup of Ricciardo and Norris. So I think, yeah, fourth overall for them. Aston Martin in fifth. They will be close to the 2 teams in front of them, but I'm not quite sure just how well Stroll and Vettel will do as a pairing. Vettel has missed out on some running here and there in testing so far, and Stroll on his day is great, but on a lot of days he isn't, so that might just cost them some points overall in the championship, though they should be close enough to push Ferrari and McLaren and might even nick a podium or 2 throughout the season. Alpine, the new team, or the new setup of the team of Alonso and Ocon, should be a strong pairing, though it's difficult to know how well Alonso is going to be after being away from the sport for so long. And then Esteban Ocon has had his struggles over the last year, so theoretically it's a strong lineup, but both drivers are going to need to put in some impressive performances if they're going to finish any higher than 6th, despite potentially having a good car. AlphaTauri, I think they'll build again as what they did last year. Maybe not get a race win as they did last year, mind you, but that Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda are a solid pairing and should pick up solid points that will keep them above the teams in 8th, 9th and 10th, but they might still be a bit of a gap to them and the upper midfield. But yep, I think they should get another solid year and finish 7th. Alfa Romeo, they didn't change the drivers lineup. Who knows how much Kimi still wants to race, but he seems to be there, so he's still driving. Giovinazzi again needs to put in some good performances, but it's hard to tell. I think they will still have enough in them to be ahead of the Williams and Haas, but they'll be closer to Williams and Haas than they will be to AlphaTauri in front of them. But they still should have enough. Williams, they will finally get out the doldrums-ish and will finish above Haas this year. They have a solid driver lineup and they have a car which has been improved upon, so I think they should be able to finish 9th, which will be an improvement over the last few years have been. 10. Haas. Haas last year struggled, especially towards the back end of the year. They also have 2 rookies in the car, which may lead to car development being a bit all over the place, with also the team not necessarily using all their available tokens to improve the car. So they could really struggle this year. And given Mazepin and Schumacher are usually struggle in their first year in a new car, this could be quite a bad year for them overall. They will really be struggling and really will be towards the back of the grid quite far. The Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton will win his 8th world title. Lewis Hamilton is going to win the championship this year. It will be closer than what was the last few years, but I still reckon he's going to have enough in him to win the championship. Though I can see the likes of Verstappen, Perez, and Bottas at least pushing him enough to make it close. In second, I've put Max Verstappen. The Red Bull looks like a properly good, quick car this year, and will probably be properly hit right from the beginning of the season. They should be able to force Mercedes into having a bit of some struggles, and I reckon Verstappen will be close enough to Hamilton to get second, though he may fall short overall and probably miss out with maybe a race to go. Third, Sergio Perez. This is the first time Sergio Perez has a properly competitive car, and I think he'll be desperate to make it go in the right direction, and he will be properly going for the championship. And he will have enough in him to just about beat Bottas overall, despite potentially Mercedes being quicker throughout the whole season. But I think Perez will just edge Bottas for third in the championship. Best of the rest, Charles Leclerc will impress again in the Ferrari, and if this Ferrari is as much better as it was compared to the previous years, he will be closer and will be a lot closer this year. Finally, Nikita Mazepin will finish last. He's been a bit of an inconsistent driver through his junior career. The Haas is probably terrible. I foresee Mazepin really struggling this year and probably finishing last overall. Now I've came up with some 6 other interesting predictions to see how they go. These are a bit guessy, but I'm just going to have a go with these. Verstappen will win 6 races. The Red Bull is quick this year, and I reckon Verstappen will have enough in him to pick up 6 race wins, which will be the most wins he's ever had in a singular season, and he will be competitive and right in the championship. And with having a Perez there to back him up, he will have enough to be able to thwart Mercedes in a lot of races. 10 drivers will end up on the podium. Last year we had a very high 13, but if the season's a bit more conventional, I reckon it will be a bit lower this season. We won't have as many crazy races, but I still reckon we'll have enough interest that 10 drivers will get on the podium, especially given the sheer number of races we're having this year. There will be 35 VSC and full safety cars combined. Reliability will play up again, which will lead to a lot of VSCs and full safety cars, especially at tracks where it's more difficult for cars to be removed, leading to more full safety cars. So I've gone for 35 VSCs and full safety cars combined this year. We will end up with 1 red flag race. Where this ends up being and for why, who knows. Maybe it'll be a rain affected red flag, maybe it'll be a Mugello crash fest red flag, but there will be at least 1 red flag this season. Perez will win a race. That Red Bull is very quick. It will be quick enough for Perez to pick up a race win, even if Verstappen is out of the picture. And Verstappen will probably break down at some point or crash at some point this season, and I think Perez will be there or thereabouts enough to pick up the pieces to win a race. All 20 drivers will score at least a point. In such a long season with so many races, it's just going to be inevitable that all 20 drivers will pick up a point somewhere. What causes all 20 drivers to pick up a point, especially considering how slow that Haas is, who knows, but there's enough on on the table there that all train drivers will pick up at least 1 point. So these are my predictions. What are yours? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more of my content, please subscribe and put your predictions down below in the comments now. See how they compare to mine, and even discuss them in there. Thank you, and goodbye.